Hey folks, Marty Duda here at the 13th floor to tell you all about this segment of the Uptown Lowdown. It's our film segment. Oxford is here, Jemilah's here, I'm here, and we've all been watching Dune. So I've gone down the Dune wormhole. I've watched the first one with David Lynch directing. I've watched the new one. I've even learned about the one that was trying to made in the 70s with Orson Welles and Salvador Dali and Mick Jagger. If you don't know about it, watch this. You'll be an expert. Check it out. Okay, time to talk about our film of the week. And as usual, we have Oxford with us. He took the week off last week, and Jemilah and I had to deal with the Velvet Underground on our own. But that's all right. Oxford's here this week, and we're going to talk about Dune, the new movie, the new version of Dune. I don't know if it's coming out in New Zealand this week or next month, but it's out around the world, and that's what counts.
For you here. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. For the fear is gone. Only I will remain. This is only the beginning.
It's out everywhere, and it's definitely worth talking about because I've not only been psyched for this for years now. You'll know I've sent you 100 emails being like, put me on Dune when it comes out. But also it's fantastic. So there are limitations with it. There are limitations with the story and also what you can do, how the vision that they had. But for me, overall, I'll just say that I was very pleasantly surprised, and my extremely high expectations for certain parts of it were met. Which was the important thing for me. Otherwise, but so exceptional. Yep. And I'd love to hear your thoughts because I could nerd out on this.
Okay, well, before I give you I'll just say that I'm old enough to have seen the original Dune in '84 in the cinemas, so I have that to base stuff on. But Jemilah probably is the least familiar with the story and the film. What's your Dune experience so far?
I hadn't really heard of it until about a couple of weeks before it came out, and Kun had been talking about it a lot. He's kind of into that whole scene, and it was like as soon as I showed him the email from you that was like, here's the screener, bro. He's like, yeah, we get to watch it early. Yeah. And I thought it was good, but it was hard to evaluate it because I had nothing to evaluate it against, and because of that, I found that I was looking at it from two different perspectives. Like from a sort of cinematic perspective, it was really beautifully done. Yes. But then from the hype that I was getting from other people, I was expecting it to be more kind of like a different kind of film. I was expecting it to be sort of more humorous, like more kind of like directly comedic and kind of like dramatic, and it was very all of those things.
I'm so glad it wasn't. I'm so glad they chopped out Jason Momoa. I'm so glad that the trailers slightly deceived me in like my man Aquaman jumping around being like, hey, it's me, Jason Momoa, you know me from every popular film, and it's like, you're not in Dune, dude. Like, so I was glad that they made it dry. That was good. So excellent.
Yeah. Even though it didn't meet what I had expected, that wasn't particularly a bad thing. I thought it was like really interestingly done. But it was funny, like you say from the trailer, my sister's going on about how, oh my gosh, it's like Zendaya's in the movie. She's like in there for 4 or 5 seconds, she's got like
perfect.
It's so funny.
Perfect. So happy. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. So that's amazing.
Very cool. So my take on it was I enjoyed it more than the original. Mostly, fortunately, there was no sting in diapers, so that's a plus. And the only thing I would say about this one is should have had more worm in it. More sandworm would have been good.
Yeah.
But the technical quality of the filmmaking is beyond compare on this. I mean, it's just amazing. So there's that. The story is what it is. It's pretty close to what was originally in the original Dune film. I was surprised how much it matched up. So it just, it's more slicker looking and it makes a little more sense this time around.
Have either of you read the books?
No.
I actually was just about to. Like, we have it at our house, and I was about to bring it from our flat to Waiheke for lockdown, but then I ended up reading Everest instead, the one about
I would have
Everest.
been. It would have been great for 12 weeks. You could have gone through
I
the
know.
whole insane
So
saga.
I assume you've read the book?
Sorry?
Have you read the book?
Yeah, I read the books when I was younger. I was very much into sci-fi and that, but I also played a video game called Dune 2000, which was highly popular, and that was amazing. And so a lot of the design structures that they've done in this as well, some of the like shots specifically, like I felt a real heavy hit of nostalgia for me, being like 6-7 years old playing this game.
Right.
But so there are a lot of things that it added in where all different types of fans could be in love with it. But so from a purely like nobody, you don't know anything about it. So it's a very long film that should have been really about 5.5 hours long.
Right.
And it's cut in what is the middle of the second act of
So
the
there's going to be a part 2 coming, isn't there?
So they didn't know. They didn't know there was going to be a part 2. It was bold, but I mean, like when you're dealing with Dune, it's like, sure, why not? I'm not going to sacrifice it because we've done that before. But the interesting thing is so the second half will be the massive, basically when everything kind of goes a little bit more sandwormy, essentially.
Felt like there needed to be a part 2. And one thing that I would say from someone who doesn't know about the story is that it took quite a while to understand what was going on without any context. We're sort of having to pause it and have discussions like, wait, so that's that and that's that.
I noticed in the original film there was a lot more exposition at the beginning of the film, and they were basically reading the book to you for a bit.
They're essentially they're shoving exposition down your throat in that initial one because you have to do that, and that's why it should be a 5.5 hour film watched kind of together in 2 parts, because you have to dedicate this much time to telling you all about these houses and getting their aesthetic and everything, and that works wonderfully in a super long film. But when you don't know what's going to happen next for you as the viewer, that's really interesting, and I imagine it would be kind of frustrating because it does feel semi unfinished. It feels like the last 10 minutes were kind of like chopped on at the end when they were like just put it on this, but so it could have been done a little bit differently. But cinematically, the aesthetics of this film are exceptional. Everyone commits, they go real deep into actually, even again, Jason Momoa and Zendaya and people who is very fan focused and wouldn't really care so much about the actual material of the film they're seeing so much as wanting to go and be entertained. It's really nice to see those actors dive in as well and still not kind of portray their Jason Momoa didn't have much makeup on and just looked like a big, heavy, tired, war-ridden dude. And I was like, awesome. This is great. Like, he doesn't look pretty. Sick. Yeah. He's like, fantastic. But so, aesthetically gorgeous. For lovers of cinema and watching it, perfect. And the story, I was very, very happy. So
I will say I did go, because we're in lockdown, I did go down the Dune wormhole, so to speak. And
nice.
So I watched the new one, I watched the old one, and then I watched, I found out about this film that was supposedly attempted to be made in the 70s of Dune by Alejandro Jodorowsky or whatever. How do you pronounce his name? Do you know?
Jodorowsky.
It's Jodorowsky. So amazing. And there's a doco that's available on Apple Plus for like 99 cents.
Yo quería hacer una película que diera a la gente que tomaba LSD las alucinaciones que la droga daba sin alucinación. Mi ambición con Dune fue tremenda. I want to create a prophet to change the young mind of all the world.
There's Jodorowsky's mind, and then there's everybody else's minds.
3,000 drawings. I shoot the picture, point of view, movement of the camera, dialogue.
Designing the spaceships, the clothes, the whole look of his world.
I have Moebius, who was a genius. He was very quick. Giger nunca había hecho películas. I say to Giger, I need you as you are. Chris Foss, a real genius. Music, Pink Floyd. David Carradine for Leto was perfect. And Brontes, my son, was perfect for Paul. I had Orson Welles, Mick Jagger, and Salvador Dali as the Mad Emperor of the Galaxy. Dali said to me, I want to be the actor más pagado de Hollywood. $100,000 la hora. I offer to you the most important picture in the story of the humanity. We will change the world.
There's no Star Wars without Dune, no Alien, no Blade Runner, there's no Matrix.
It always leads back to Jodorowsky.
and I would just watch that before we're doing this, and that blew me away. That was the best bit of cinema.
So that's fantastic. When you get into looking at the old material, especially that, you get very much into that like like Geiger-esque kind of art. Where you
and Geiger's in the film,
and also some there was that like Terry Gilliam. It has a feel like early Terry Gilliam in the design of all that kind of stuff. This lucid weird thing. But yeah, so fantastic, but brilliant film, excellent. Timothy Chalamet is fantastic. Rebecca Ferguson, who I don't usually rate too highly, was exceptional. Oscar Isaac and Baron Harkonnen. Was the guy Skarsgård.
And do you feel bad that you didn't see it in the cinema?
I wish I had. I was gutted, but I shut off all the lights and just kind of held my little sandworm kind of Fremen goggles in. No, it was good. I would go see it again. That's the thing. If they released this, they just showed this at the cinema constantly, where you could just go watch it and go see it like every couple of weeks. It's amazing. Just in like, it's just beautiful to look at.
We turned off all the lights as well and did a full no phones cinema experience, and it definitely like helped get into it. The only other thing I would say as well is that I found all of the talking really muffled. It was almost like I needed subtitles, and I couldn't.
Yep, I found that.
In
I thought it was my
subwoofer
that was causing the problem.
It's
just
a very quiet film that it is subdued. Like it's not. Yeah, watch it. That's why again, watch it loud, big speakers. That's what it's made for. So unfortunately, the world just has other plans for us at the moment, but we keep going on. But so definitely check it out as soon as you can, because it's loved
awesome.
It.
Well, thank you, Oxford. I'm glad you provided us with the Dune experience.
I'm so happy.
I'm completely immersed now. So
perfect. Well, wait till you get to the part where Paul's son merges with the sandworm. So that's the icing on the crazy cake. Blow your mind. You'll be pausing for hours to talk about that. Fantastic. Lovely to catch up with you both again.
Thank you.
We're soon to discuss the spooky season ahead.
Yes.
Thanks.
All right. Peace.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye now.